Good evening everyone. If you don't know, you should know. My name is Rameez and I am a filmmaker and a film critic. And so it ends, one of the finest trilogies of our time. This is the review of the final film in the Planet of the Apes trilogy, War for the Planet of the Apes.
This is our last stand. And if we lose, it will be a planet of apes.
It's not the action-packed blockbuster the previous film was, but this film is a whole lot different than Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. This film is directed by Matt Reeves, the man who will be directing the next Batman film, and at moments, watching War for the Planet of the Apes felt like watching a Christopher Nolan film, the man who directed the previous Batman trilogy. The film starts off highlighting the events of the past two films in a neat way. It's like a Star Wars opening crawl, but very basic. They show a paragraph of text in white, but there are words which have been highlighted in the color red. Those words are Rise, Dawn, and War. It works much more effectively than the way the previous film decided to dole out the information on the first film, which was that uber cliche way of using news footage, clearly manufactured news footage, to show what happened in the world. The film's plot follows Caesar hunting for vengeance after a colonel played by the excellent Woody Harrelson kills Caesar's wife and son. This film respects its past storyline, and it reminds us that Caesar is becoming very much like Koba, an ape who he had killed. In this world, the Earth is at a standstill because the virus which made these apes super smart, that same virus is making humans retarded. That's the Cliff Notes version. The movie explains it in a much more complex way, but basically that's about it. It's forcing humans to become disabled in certain ways. So because of that, not only is Woody Harrelson's colonel against the ape, he's also against certain humans. All the plot points and characters intersect with Caesar's storyline, which in turn provides some excellent scenes between the colonel and Caesar. The film actually veers heavily away from the last film, which was basically an action blockbuster, and instead this time they're giving us a good sci-fi movie. What is good sci-fi? What is one of the traits of good science fiction? It makes you pick a side with the commentary they're telling. Because neither the colonel or Caesar are wrong in their ideologies, and their conflict, while it's solved in a bit of a predictable way, it is also very powerful as well. The film does lack a few things. One of those things stems from the blatant marketing deception the trailers provided. The trailers, again, promoted this as an action film, but again, as I said earlier, it's a good sci-fi film. But what we get instead while watching the movie is somewhere closer to Blade Runner, actually even more closer to Minority Report. The second thing this film lacks is cheese. This film isn't as cheesy as the first or second film, which is a good thing for the story this film is trying to tell, but me personally, this is a subjective opinion, a completely subjective opinion of mine. I enjoy some cheesiness, even in my broad-headed movies. One of my favorite moments of the past decade in filmmaking was in Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, which was Koba's death. It's so well done with the line, "Ape, no kill, ape," is built throughout the film, and then while Caesar's holding Koba up, Koba tells him, "Ape, no kill ape," and then Caesar looks at his fallen apes and he says, "You are not ape," and he just lets him go. It's so cheesy, but it's like the good type of cheese, not the cheese we saw in Commando. And that finale brought a massive smile to my face, because people, despite what everyone says, one-liners are great. Do you know why one-liners are great? One-liners are one of the few things which make a movie memorable. This is just my opinion. I wanted something like that, but it worked out for the film that it didn't have any cheese, because the film's subject and the tone is very serious, dark, and grim. And again, given the material they're dealing with, it was probably, and it was, objectively speaking, the right decision to go 100% serious. However, the addition of one character known just to us as Bad Ape, played by Steve Zahn, offers some moments of levity and comedy. His jokes are mainly visual punchlines which end the scene, and it sets up a transition to the next scene. One of those sad scenes is when he's using a pair of binoculars, but he's using it the wrong way. It's simple, it's welcoming, and it's not distracting. Now we gotta talk about something very important: Andy Serkis's performance. When will the crooked, corrupt, and fraudulent film industry recognize excellent motion capture performances? The fact that Andy Serkis does not have a statue of any form is troubling. Even the supporting cast who mocapped the other apes deserve some sort of recognition far beyond the critical acclaim and the reviews we are giving them. I mean, guys, let's think about it. This is a trilogy of films where over 50% of the screen space is occupied by CGI, and it does not make you question it at all. Maybe in the first film, but definitely not in the second or third film. And unlike Transformers, you know those things aren't there, but these apes, every time they occupy the space and it looks legit. And some little tweaks from the last film are highly impressive as well, such as Caesar's beard and how you can very likely see Andy Serkis's likeness in the face of Caesar. Amazing VFX. Nothing is going to top this, at least in the year of 2017, and maybe till 2018 as well. The film does offer some not so subtle commentary on the current presidency of Donald Trump, as one of the biggest plot points of the film is that a wall is being built. And as I said earlier, this film takes cues from Christopher Nolan's filmography, more specifically The Dark Knight Rises, which took cues from Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities. The idea of a false revolution by a pariah of some sorts is a central focal storyline in War for the Planet of the Apes. The only thing I disliked but liked at the same time for this film, and again, this is my subjectivity versus objectivity coming into play, is the film's ending. Although the film's ending is very profound compared to the second film, it does lack that emotional gut punch the second film delivered. The ending of Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was bonkers emotionally. The emotional gut punch of this film comes right before the third act ends, whereas the emotional gut punch in Dawn was the ending of the film. In this film, the big emotional sequence happens, and then the big explosions and the action sequences happen. It caught me off guard, and I believe that was a bit of a structural problem in the film. But again, in no way does that ruin the film at all. All in all, one of the best films of the year, 4.5 out of 5. Thank you so much for watching, people. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button. Let's shoot for 30 likes. Is that too hard, people? If you enjoyed me yapping about movies, feel free to subscribe because there's more on my channel. A bunch of video essays, you'll enjoy those. And until next time, remember to love yourselves.